The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Fox Sports.
Last night, the Rays continued their winning ways with a 5-1 victory over the Royals, giving Tampa Bay a big league best 15-4 mark since July 31st. Tonight, left-hander David Price goes to the hill, searching for win number 17. Catch all the action next on Sun Sports. Last night at Tropicana Field, the Rays got a great start from Jeremy Hellickson. The offense continues to undergo a sustained revival, and they've opened this 6-game homestand with a victory. The Rays now a season's high 14 games over 500. Tonight, game 2 of the series between the Rays and the Kansas City Royals. With Brian Anderson, I'm Dwayne Stats. Great to have you with us on the hill tonight. For the Rays, the big left-hander David Price. He's made 24 starts, 18 times. He's gone into the 7th inning or later.
Well, David Price has been absolutely outstanding. His last 11 starts, he's pitched 7+ innings. And you see right here, the Major League ranks tied for first in wins. He leads in the American League outright. The ERA #1 in Major League Baseball. Got to be the favorite for the American League Cy Young, and he has done it by being so aggressive with that fastball, letting those secondary pitches come into play as the game moves along. And with his ability, he takes the aggression out of a hitter. That equals advantage David Price. On the other side, you got Luke Hochevar. It's been a very inconsistent season for Luke. However, the Rays have seen him very good this season. Earlier, June 25th in Kansas City, he threw a shutout against the Rays, giving up 7 hits, walked just 1. And in fact, if you go back over his last 2 starts against the Rays, he's given up just 1 earned run in 16 innings.
Tonight, we take a look at the starting matchup brought to you by your local Southern Ford dealer. Luke Hochevar, 7-11 on the year. He was 11-11 a year ago. And David Price, I just don't know how you can get any better than David Price has been. Other news for the Rays, Luke Scott comes off the disabled list and is in the lineup. When we return, Todd Callis will take a look at that.
inside Tropicana Field, getting ready for the middle game of this 3-game series between the Rays and the Royals. For the Rays, a roster move after last night's game made official earlier today. Luke Scott recalled from the disabled list minor league rehab as he had that strained oblique. Missed 28 games for the Rays. Sean Rodriguez, unfortunately, still had an option available, so he was sent to AAA Durham. Sean Rod had been hitting as well as he had all season long prior to being sent to AAA. But Luke is very happy after missing just about a month.
It feels good. It's been a long time, and I've been chomping at the bit, and I've run out of fingernails to chew on. So I'm excited to get back and try and do my part to help the team win. Yeah, I mean, I like where I'm at. My shoulder's starting to. It's gotten to the point where it's really began to. I get that last inch of extension, which is really important. So, I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Luke was really hitting well right before he went on the DL 1 month ago today, so he's hoping to jump back in the flow as well. So is this guy, Evan Longoria. He admitted he'd be a little bit nervous playing third base for the first time since April. As we get you ready for baseball, Wayne Stats and Brian Anderson will have the first pitch in the lineups right around the corner.
For great deals on the amazing lineup of Toyota vehicles. Toyota moving forward. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Tires Plus. The plus is in everything we do. We welcome you inside Tropicana Field as the Rays and the Royals square off for the second time in this series. Rays swept by Kansas City earlier this year and posting a win last night, 5-1. Tonight it'll be David Price going to the hill for the Rays with the American League leading 16 wins. Day game tomorrow, and then the Toronto Blue Jays will come calling. Luke Scott being welcomed back to the Rays dugout, and the starting lineup here coming off the disabled list. And the Rays just now taking the field. Take a look at the Kansas City starting lineup. Lorenzo Cain is in center field tonight and leading off, followed by Alcides Escobar, the shortstop, and then Alex Gordon, the left fielder, hits third in front of the designated hitter, Billy Butler. Salvador Perez is the catcher. Mike Moustakas at third base. Jeff Francoeur returns to the lineup. He's in right, hitting 7th in front of the first baseman Eric Hosmer. Johnny Giovatella, the second baseman, bats ninth.
Now taking the mound tonight for the Tampa Bay Rays, going to be left-hander David Price. You see the season numbers, outstanding all the way down. And in fact, in those 24 starts, he's given up 3 earned runs or fewer in 22 of the 24. It's been a remarkably consistent, dominant season for David. Let's take a look at the defense as it lines up behind David. In the outfield, left to right, Desmond Jennings, B.J. Upton, and Matt Joyce. Across the infield, third to first, Evan Longoria, Ben Zobrist, Ryan Roberts, and Carlos Pena. Jose Molina will be behind the plate. Tonight's Ray defense brought to you by Sweet Bay Supermarkets, home of the new Sweet Spot Burgers. And with Evan Longoria being down at third base, take a look at the scouting report brought to you by Coventry Healthcare of Florida. What will the limitations be? First game out there. This is actually the 100th game since he last was at third base. You wonder if there's going to be limitations. You assume that there will be, and because the mantra for Evan is going to be easy does it. Don't push yourself. That's going to be tough for a guy that is as competitive as he is.
Well, there's no question about that. The last time he was down at third was on April the 30th. And he's been talking about playing third base as far back as the beginning of the road trip. He was in Minneapolis talking about how he would have to approach playing third. And we'll see tonight. He said if there's a guy he thinks might bunt, he's going to be in already. He's not going to have to bust it in. And that play, the backhand play with the cross step, that's a concern because it's more of a reaction play. So those will be some of the concerns with Longoria playing third.
He would be the worst player manager of all time.
Sure.
He'd already have himself out there.
He'd be in there already.
The rehab assignment would have been a couple of at-bats.
Yep. Yep. So there he is, Longoria at third base. David Price set to go to work. And the first pitch of this game is a called strike. That first pitch presented by Pinch-A-Penny. So we're underway. Lorenzo Cain hitting .262. A little tapper, that's foul, bouncing straight back to the base of the stands. Cain hit down in the lineup last night, was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Pitch away. In fact, Cain made the last out of the game last night when he was caught looking to end it. The Rays won 5-1, and he leads off this game. And a line drive into right. That ball's going to stay up and be caught by Matt Joyce out there. 1 away.
And then the ball hangs up just long enough for Matt Joyce. Actually a nice job by Cain to be able to go with that pitch. Line it to right field, but hung up. Matt Joyce grabs it, out number 1.
Here's Escobar. Now, Cedes Escobar, the shortstop, had an 8-game hitting streak come to an end in the first game of this series. He went 0 for 4, did reach on an error last night. And a little late right there on that fastball. Well, that'll get you into the game. 96, strike 1. And strike 2, that one on the corner away from you at 96.
Carbon copy. High velocity, but even better location. Immediately 0-2.
Chopper foul outside of third. 16-4 for Price. And watching him this year has been a real treat. He has accelerated his game to the point, talking with a couple of scouts last night, and they're beginning to say this guy is the #1 pitcher. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And he certainly pitched like it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, first of all, he's got the plus stuff. The secondary pitches have come along to the point of being true weapons, and he uses both sides of the plate.
And a line drive caught by Zobrist at shortstop. Escobar is out of there.
That line
right.
drive looked like it hurt. That ball got in on Ben quick. That's a tough one to handle. A low liner. It's smoked pretty good. And you just got to go down there. Hope you catch it clean. Like that got him right in the palm.
Just checking to make sure everything's okay. Glove and glove hand.
Start to lose feeling about the wrist.
Alex Gordon. Pitch is low. A ball to no strikes. Gordon had a couple of hits last night. In fact, he was on 3 times with 2 hits and a walk, and that's something new for him here at the Trop. He at one point was 0 for 37 at Tropicana Field. Count is 1-1, and came into last night's game with a 2 for 53 here, and had 2 hits his first 2 trips up. That's a strike. 97, 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Alex Gordon, what are you going to do with this? Left on left, and it's buried right there on the outside corner at 97. I mean, the best thing that you can do there is foul it off.
And he fouls this one off at 98.
Well, that's the one you better hit, because that one actually caught a little bit more plate. He goes back out there down and away, and it's going to be tough. And that's what, again, you go back to why David Price may be the preeminent starting pitcher in the American League, #1 guy, especially when you're talking about a left-hander. It's that ability, both sides.
And one of the reasons is when he gets you down, usually you're done. And a little foul ball there. When you look at opponents' averages against Price when he's ahead in the count, I mean, they are impressive. He gets you down 0-2. It's under 100. 077, and right now he's 1-2 on Gordon. The opposition hitting 124 of David Price on a 1-2 count. Fly ball lifted into shallow left. Jennings is there to retire the side. A 1-2-3 first. Desmond's going to lead off the bottom half of the first when the Rays come in to hit. We have no score. A 1-2-3 first for David Price. Tonight's Rays game presented in high definition. Brought to you by H.H. Gregg. Joe Madden's lined up with Desmond Jennings leading off. Then V.J. Upton and Matt Joyce. Evan Longoria, Ben Zobrist, and Carlos Pena down the middle. Luke Scott, the DH, at 7th with Ryan Roberts 8th, and Jose Molina, the catcher, batting 9th.
Taking the mound tonight for the Kansas City Royals, right-hander Luke Hochevar making his 25th start of the season. Threw the ball well his last time out. Picked up a loss in that ball game. No offense for his team. Lost 3-0 to the Oakland A's.
First pitch to Desmond Jennings, and that's a strike on the outside part of the plate.
Well, the Rays have seen Hochevar very good last couple of times out, including earlier this year.
It's one complete game, a shutout against the Rays in Kansas City.
And he will throw a little bit of everything at you. I mean, as long as it's not a knuckleball, you probably are going to see it.
The 1-1. A strike on the outside part of the plate. Fastball around 92 away. So he made 113 pitches in that 7-hit shutout. Walked only one. The cut and the miss. Jennings out on strikes.
Well, let's take a quick look at the defense that's going to line up behind O'Shaver tonight. For the Royals in the outfield left to right, Alex Gordon, Lorenzo Cain, and Jeff Francoeur. Across the infield third to first, Mike Moustakas, Alcides Escobar, Johnny Giovatella, Eric Hosmer. Behind the plate will be Salvador Perez. Tonight's Royal defense brought to you by Sweet Base Supermarkets, home of the new Sweet Spot Burgers.
Well, there's B.J. Upton, 28 years old today, and he goes after the first pitch, lifting a fly ball to Francoeur out there in right field. Waits for it, makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down.
How about that sequence to Desmond Jennings by O'Shaver right off the top? Fastballs knee high, down and away, and then that filthy breaking ball. You see BJ going after that first pitch. I think Desmond and BJ both have had that mindset that if a guy's going to throw first pitch fastball and it's going to be out over the plate, or we think we can take a rip at it, they're not going to let it go by.
Yeah, they have been aggressive during this offensive stretch for the Rays, and they really have. Jennings has been a catalyst, and Upton not only has contributed to setting the table, but he's cleaned the table on occasion. 1-0 the count here to Matt Joyce. Matt pops it up. Left side, Moustakas, the third baseman. Still fair, and he makes the catch. It's a 1-2-3. Rays first. On to the second. Scoreless.
Tonight's game is available in Espanol via SAP, brought to you by Coventry Healthcare of Florida.
Well, a 1-2-3 first for Price, a 1-2-3 first for O'Shaver. And in the second inning, Billy Butler will lead it off for Kansas City. Will be followed by the catcher Perez, and then the third baseman Moustakas. Kansas City came into this series fresh off a 5-1 homestand. They've been playing good baseball. Butler has been the mainstay in the run production department. Pitch is outside. In fact, he's 10th overall in the American League in runs batted in. starting play in this game. There's a strike. And we saw what a good hitter he is his first time up last night. Not only does he have power, but he got down 0-2 and then hit a fastball the other way for a base hit.
He just shot that gap between, you know, first and second base, and that's why he's a complete hitter, because as he's developed, the power has started to come along. Already a career high in home runs with plenty of games left to add on. But that ability and willingness to go the other way.
It's right there, the little looper into shallow right and a base hit to the opposite field on a 2-1 pitch. And he has the first hit of this game.
And, you know, we talked about it. Coming into play last night, his career average was 298. And, you know, barring an injury-filled career, this guy will be a career 300 hitter. Look at him. Just reach out there. You know, David Price put that ball in a good spot. Wasn't like it was chest high where you could reach out there. It was a good pitch. And he didn't hit it particularly that hard.
You see how his hits are spread around right there. Here's a guy with 25 home runs. 32 of his hits are to the opposite field. Oh, Perez takes a pitch for a ball. Salvador Perez. Price misses too low. 2-0. A rainy evening in and around Tropicana Field. Really rained hard throughout the area during batting practice and leading up to the first pitch. Still some rainfall outside. Pitch foul right back over the screen, and it's 2-1. It's a little lighter than it was, but still a need for the umbrellas. Fans continue to make their way into the ballpark. A 2-1 count. Foul out of play. The count is even at 2-2. On a 12-2 run. There are only losses in that stretch were 1-run losses. Line drive going to be caught by Longoria. Well, Evans still has some hang time down there at third. He made that leaping grab for the out, and then took a look at Butler at first base.
And those are the moves you're interested in seeing because they're reactions. His ball lined hard and just goes up. Makes a nice catch, and then looking to make a throw. We'll look at his eyes right on that baseball, and a nice little leap. Times it perfectly. Right at the apex.
You could almost see him thinking, making a coordinated leap, as opposed to just a quick reaction and a jerking leap to the top. And you're right, those are the kinds of plays that for a half a beat there, you hold your breath.
Because he's down there ready. Pitch comes in, it's lined right at him, and it's lined. It's not a soft, you know, little off the end of the bat. It's a liner, so it's immediate reaction. It's like, ball's hit, what do? I jump. And you jump up there, you make the play, and I think that's why before he was going to be put out there, as much as he wanted to be out there, Joe, the training staff, everybody else had to feel comfortable, because those are the types of situations you're going to run into during the course of a game.
Joe Madden giving him a 9.7 perform on that leap. Under control.
But he stuck the landing.
2-0 the count. Butler at first, one away. Moustakas, the third baseman, up here. There's a strike. Mid-90s fastball. foul ball at the feet of the plate umpire Paul Immel. That takes the count to 2-2. Here's the other thing about Price. Even when he comes back and gets even in a 2-2 count, the opposition hitting only 191 off. So if he gets you to 2 strikes, good luck.
Well, that's the whole key. 2 strikes, and even in a 2-2 count, got a couple of pitches to play with. Got the hitter on the defensive.
2-2. He strikes him out. Fastball.
You know, we've seen Mike Moustakas drive the baseball. All you got to do is take a look at his last 2 swings. Both very defensive, especially this one with 2 strikes. Look at that. All he's trying to do is just foul that off. Just put it in play, foul it off. No aggression there. And that's what David has been able to do, is take that aggression out of a hitter's swing.
Jeff Francoeur. Ball 1. Francoeur hitting .240, double figures with 11 home runs. Cut to miss.
That may be David's best changeup in the last month and a half.
Well, it's a pitch that we've seen him go through some games and not use.
And when he has, it's not been his A+ changeup. That was. And it had that higher velocity to it, which is always a dead giveaway.
1-2 now. Yeah, that changeup at 86. I mean, that's effective because he's throwing 96, his fastball. Sometimes greater than that. And the pitch is inside. Fastball. 2-2. And he started that one outside and tried to cut it over the corner, and it just stayed a little wide.
David very fond of this pitch, the 2-strike backdoor cutter. It just doesn't quite cut enough. Very close.
3-2, 2 outs, the runner goes, and the pitch is bounced foul. We'll do all of that again.
Well, and then he came back with the changeup. That one at 87. You know, those changeups where David starts to slow down his motion, and then therefore the arm slows down a little bit. They're in that 82 to 84 range. Not his best. He throws it up there 85, 86. That one at 87. Then you know that the arm speed, everything is on time.
3-2 again, and strike 3. Caught him looking on a fastball at 97. No runs ahead, a man left. Bottom of the second coming, no score. back in the lineup tonight and at third base for the first time since coming back. First time at third since April the 30th. Evan in here against Hochevar. First pitch is inside. Evan hitting .299 for the year. And he lifts the fly ball up the right field side. Frank Core over there with time to make the catch. One away in the second inning.
Now, for all the latest updates on your Tampa Bay Rays, log on to TampaBay.com. From the diamond to the clubhouse, we bring you the in-depth news, stories, and scores 24 hours a day only at TampaBay.com, powered by the Tampa Bay Times.
There's Ben Zobrist, been playing shortstop. A little over 260 for the year overall. The pitch is a strike. And since the early part of June has hit over 300. Quickly behind Luke Hochevar.
Remember when that turnaround started in New York? It was struggling badly. The average had dipped under 200. It was at 199. There's been no looking back.
It's a ball and 2 strikes. And he's continued to walk. That's the one thing he did early that kept his head above water. And he's adding hits, extra base hits at that. To the walks. He continues to draw his share, and he's second in the league now in bases on balls with 73, which puts him up in the top 10 in on base percentage.
And you know what makes it so impressive is you can understand big power hitters. You know, Prince Fielder, all these guys get walked because guys don't want to pitch to him. Ben's not a huge power guy. That's how good his eye is. That's how disciplined he is with the strike zone.
And there's 3-2 here.
I mean, it's not that teams are just avoiding him and it's the old unintentional, intentional walk and he's racking up big totals. He locks it in, knows what a strike is, knows what a ball is, and rarely goes outside of it.
On a full count against the Kansas City right-hander. Liner into center field. That's going to drift out to Kane. 2 gone. 2 up, 2 down. Carlos Pena. Well, let's take a look. Break down Luke Hochevar here. It's been good or very bad.
Yeah, not much in between. You got to figure the wins, you're going to have a lower ERA and a low its opponent's average, but when the difference is that big, rough. Fortunately, the Rays, the last couple of times that he's thrown, they've seen that left column.
Carlos Pena fouls one, a fastball that got in on his fist. Strike 1. Overall, he's 2-2 against the Rays, who had a measure of success against him until recently. He's made 7 starts, and his earned run average is well over 5 against the Rays. He's coming off the shutout against him in Kansas City. Quickly ahead of Pena, 0-2.
Even though he took a loss in his last start, you need to look no further than his last 2 to sum up his year. His last start out, he threw the ball very well, went 7 innings, gave up 3 earned runs, just was not helped out at all by his offense. The previous start was against Baltimore, in Baltimore. He went 5 1/3 with 7 earned, and that's been kind of the story of his year. One good start, one not so good.
The 0-2 foul. They had an earned run average of over 4.5 last year, 468, won 11 and lost 11. And the Royals, watching him pitch last year, they've always had high hopes for him coming out of the 06 draft. And they thought he might have turned the corner last year. Ball 2 strikes, and we saw in that breakout, they've seen when he's pitched and won, he's pitched well. But on the other side of that, it has not been so encouraging.
His problem has been minimizing damage. It's been the big inning.
It's when he gets into a little bit of trouble, all of a sudden, instead of a 1 or 2 run inning, it becomes a 4 or 5 run inning. That's the big difference.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and when you look at his internal numbers, you realize that when it gets away from him, he starts to fall behind in the count. If he gets into hitters' counts, he's in big trouble, as most pitchers would be. And the numbers tell you that. But he has really had problems behind in the count. Pretty good ahead. And they're 2-2. He strikes out Pena on a fastball. Second strikeout for Hochevar. We're scoreless through 2.
After Luke Scott was activated, who to send down, and the only option was Sean Rodriguez because he had an option to go to the minor leagues. And here was Joe about Sean's reaction.
Sean is a pro. He understood, and he also he's going to definitely use it to his benefit regarding the adjustments he's made, how well he's been swinging recently. Now he gets a chance to play every day and then come back to us. And so you know it might be a good thing where he goes down and potential for what, maybe 30 at bats consecutively, and then comes back and really feels good at the plate. So we'll see if it actually works in our favor.
The frustrating part for Rodriguez was he was playing his best baseball of the season. Joe was able to tell him, bring your passport. We'll activate you again September 1, if not earlier. Guys, back to you.
All right. Well, there's never an easy move like that. It's representative of what the Rays now start to get a complete roster back and develop some of the depth. Eric Hosmer leading off the third. The first pitch to him is upstairs. Price started him with the off-speed pitch. It comes right back with a fastball. 1-1. Hosmer, Giovitella, and then Kane due up for Kansas City. And another fastball, mid-90s. 1-2. Hosmer had a base hit last night, 1 for 3. And then Yost has dropped him down in the lineup. That's fouled just up the left side. And another fastball that he made contact with in an emergency fashion. One-two. Ball again. Hard stuff.
Well, and David Price making the adjustment there. The previous pitch was away, and you saw Hosmer go out there and get it and line it foul up the third base line. So David says, you know what, now I'm going to come in on you. Gets a foul ball there. He can either come back a little further in and throw that front door cutter or go right back out away.
And a little tap to third base. Glove by Logorian. A strike to first.
Well, and see, plays like that give Evan the opportunity to set himself before he fields the ball. That ball is hit off the end of the bat, a little chopper, and Evan gets around this baseball. Watch this right here. Gets himself into throwing position right away. So he just grabs, step, throw. Cut down on the movements.
One away in the third. Now the number 9 hitter, Johnny Giovatello. Fouls that one back. Giovatello singled and scored in the first at bat in the third inning of last night's game. There's the strike. 0-2. Strike. Giovatello caught looking. Strikeout number 3 for David Price. Pretty good heater right here.
Yeah, well, again, as a hitter, you just can't cover both sides against David. His stuff is, you can't cover both sides hardly against anybody. But you take David's stuff and you get looking out over the plate, he comes in, you just better hope it's a ball. Giovatello was talking to himself back to the dugout. Always a good sign for a pitcher.
The top of the order, Kane. Bounds it back. Well, he struck out 3 of the last 4 hitters, and all 3 of the strikeout pitches have been clocked at 97. And he has the jump on Kane. 0-2.
Another backdoor cutter. That was a pitch for a long time David would use with 2 strikes, try to get that strikeout. Now he's using it to get ahead of you. First pitch, right there, the second.
And he shoots this one inside, a fastball. Just a bit in, 1-2.
According to home plate umpire Paul Emmel, but that was very similar to what Giovatello saw. I think that was just a nod to the Royals. I'll give you one more chance.
And a cut to miss. He's out on strikes. Well, he followed up 97 with 87 and struck him out. We go to the bottom of the third. Luke Scott is going to lead it off. He's the DH tonight. No score. Well, Luke Scott off the disabled list and in the lineup as the DH for the Rays, and he'll open the bottom of the third. Scott, Roberts, and Molina. Luke facing Hochevar, against whom he is 2 for 12 lifetime. And the pitch is up and away, a fastball to start him. Joe Madden has waited a long time to get a full lineup going out there. High popper down the right side, and that ball will wind up out of play. In fact, it has been since the end of April, the 29th of April, since he's had Jennings, who's leading off tonight, Upton, Longoria, Zobrist, Scott, Joyce, and Pena all in the same lineup. A ball and a strike. And a line drive, base hit into right center for Scott. Rancourt picks it up. He'll make a play at second, and Scott is safe. Rancourt has 14 assists out there in right field, and Scott challenged him and beat the play in for a double.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've seen more of this from the Rays lately. Not assuming anything or conceding anything. Solid contact here by Scott. He goes down. Looks like he got a changeup, and right there makes the decision that he was going to go for it. The approach of the outfielders, and there he cranks it up, and he's in there.
The Rays have their first scoring opportunity on the leadoff double. Here's Ryan Roberts. Roberts goes for the first one and drives it to straightaway center. Kane will go to the track for it and make the catch. Tagged by Scott. He's headed to third, and he will get in there standing up. Well, Roberts on the first pitch hit it right back down the middle to straightaway center, and Lorenzo Kane went all the way to the track for it.
Well, deep enough to get Luke Scott over to third. Roberts made a bid. Deepest part of the field at 404, just a little bit shy of that. And plenty of room to get Luke over to third base here with just one out.
So a runner at third with one away for Jose Molina. Molina hitting .211, and he's extended this hitting streak over a period of time now to 9 games.
The Royals playing about halfway on the infield. You can see everybody pulled in slightly.
And there's a strike. Breaking ball.
Yeah, Jose Molina does not want to wait around. He wants to pitch out over the plate, get that ball to the outfield somehow, and get this first run in here for the Rays. And Hochevar and Perez obviously on the same page figuring that out.
You see 355 for the life of that streak with a home run. More impressive than that, though, during the streak. 2 stolen bases to give him a grand total of 3 for the year. And he rolls it foul right back. 2 strikes. Scott's at third, and Molina trying to give the Rays the lead.
Well, and what we've seen out of Jose Molina, too, is that 2-strike approach. I think that's why he's been able to extend that hitting streak as long as he has. His first couple of pitches, he wants to do some damage, hit the ball hard, drive it somewhere. 2 strikes, he'll shoot it the other way.
Pitch in on him. He did not offer. So it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. You know, we saw him hit the ball the other way with regularity on that road trip. Came up with some big hits. Two balls, 2 strikes. Moving away from him.
Cut
Did not chase it.
No, cut fastball there from Hochevar. You know, he had him inadvertently set up for the pitch down and away because that previous fastball was meant to be away. Jose Molina, he thinks he's getting knocked down.
And he fouls this one, a breaking ball out of play. Cutter followed by the curveball.
Yeah, and that curveball was 1 pitch too late. You know, if that after that fastball up and in, if he wants to come back with that curveball, maybe he gets,
a quick swing and a miss and able to pick up the strikeout. But you get Jose Molina looking back out over the plate after the cutter, and then he's able to stay back on that particular breaking ball and spoiled it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And he goes in off the plate and misses, and the count is full. Three-two. Cut and a miss. So big strikeout for Hochevar, getting Molina there.
It looked to be a cutter here by Hochevar, and it was like one of those backup sliders that we talk about that you wish you could throw all the time, because this is what it gets, a lot of swings and misses. Jose Molina's expected that ball to cut a little further away and make some contact. Not to be.
Well, it's up to Desmond Jennings now. The Rays had to cash in here on their first opportunity. And there's a strike. First pitch curveball. Jennings struck out on that curveball in the first inning, giving him an 0 for 8 lifetime against Luke Hochevar. Stays down and away with another breaking pitch. Taken off the plate, and it's 1-1. Jennings seeing a steady diet of the curveball from the Kansas City right-hander. And again, low and outside, another curveball. It's 2-1. Scott picking up a double. He's now at third with 2 outs. Luke's 14th double of the year. And a strike. Boy, I'll tell you, one breaking pitch right after another.
Hochevar apparently with a lot of confidence that Desmond Jennings is just not able to recognize this pitch, because he is not afraid to continue to show it to him.
It's 4 in a row, 4 straight curveballs. A little pop foul came in with the fastball right there. That ball fouled out of play.
Good location on that pitch, and a real defensive swing by Desmond, trying to stay alive, being lulled to sleep by all the breaking stuff. Probably go right back to it here.
2-2, and a swing and a miss. He got him with a fastball that time after starting him with 4 breaking balls. Strikes him out with a fastball. No score through 3. Here is the AT&T trivia question of the night. Rays currently leading the American League in earned run average, strikeouts, and opponent average. Who is the last American League team to lead the league in those three categories? Well, the Rays pitching has been and continues to be dominant.
Mark it down, Dwayne. Mark it down. This is the fourth time this season.
Yep.
That I know the answer to
You're
the
right there?
Yep. Fourth.
All right.
I know it's not a good rate, but that's why I'm excited.
Well, you're ahead of the pace if you're doing one every quarter of the season. You're already ahead of that pace. The pressure's on to get one in the next, including this one, 40 games. Change up to Escobar, missed. 1 ball, no strikes. 4th inning underway. Pitch is foul, out of play. Escobar lined to the shortstop, Zobrist, his first time. Did he go? Yes, he did. 1-2. Could not check on the off-speed pitch, and Paul Immel said he went around. Count now 2-2. Well, the Tigers have a 3-0 lead at home, top of the 4th. They're playing host to the Blue Jays. They got their first run of the night on a bases loaded walk drawn by Delman Young. Ground ball to short. Zobrist with the pickup and the throw. Well, Escobar lined to short his first time. Grounds to short here in the 4th inning. You know, that's another part of Price's game this year. That's the second ground ball out. He's thrown a lot more ground balls this year.
And that is a testament to the finish on his pitches. It's not just fastball dominant. He's getting that extra little action on that pitch. Of course, the changeup moves down. The curveball is a good down pitch for him.
Alex Gordon takes a strike at the knees.
With the ability of David Price to keep the ball on the ground like he has to go along with the strikeouts.
0-2.
The numbers make sense.
Well, and when you look at his ERA, it's the best in the major leagues right now, and at home it's 182. And a ground ball. This one picked up by Roberts, and the toss to first. So 2 ground ball outs here in the 4th. Two up, 2 down for the designated hitter, Billy Butler. Butler has the hit, a base hit into right field in the 2nd inning. And he fouls this one out of play up the right side. Just right across the board. Price leading the league in wins with 16. The major leagues in RBI are in the earned run average. 7th in innings pitched, 6th in strikeouts, 4th in opponent's average. The shot into left. Jennings to his left reaches up and makes the catch. Line drive off a fastball. Bottom of the 4th coming. Upton, Joyce, and Longoria do.
are teaming up to collect baseball and softball equipment for the Pinellas County Sheriff's Police Athletic League at the games on September 3rd, 4th, and 5th. You can drop off new or used equipment inside Gate 1 or Gate 5 right here at Tropicana Field.
B.J. Upton will begin the bottom of the 4th. Second time through the lineup here for Hochhaber. We got Jennings on strikes to end the 3rd inning, the Rays leadoff hitter, and here's Upton to begin the 4th, and a liner into center, well hit, but caught by Kane. A fastball, and BJ jumped on it.
Again, absolutely. That has been the mantra for those first two guys in the lineup. First pitch fastball, well located, okay, we'll take it. But if that ball's out over the plate, we're not letting it go by. And that was hit hard right at Kane out there.
Well, here's Matt Joyce. That popped to the third baseman Moustakas in the first. Ball, no strikes. The pitch down. Pitch rolled foul up the right side. 1-1. He's got a leadoff double in the 3rd from Luke Scott. He advanced to 3rd and was left on base. Matt Joyce takes ball 2 down.
We talked a little earlier in the game about Hochhaber limiting the damage, and you put some runners on base against him. You've got an opportunity and a chance to get some runs. But boy, did he knuckle down last inning, picking up 2 strikeouts to close out that Rays threat.
Pitch is low, 3-1. And he used to be, if you could get a guy on base with some speed, you could steal a base. He's been better in that department this year as well. Joyce up in a 3-1 count. Matt with a couple home runs off Hochhaber. Shoots this one deep and foul up the right side.
And that right there is a big reason why. I mean, as you see Perez start to slide in there, you're sitting up here saying, why? In a 3-1 count, Matt Joyce is looking for something middle of the plate close to him that he can yank. You want to go somewhere down and away. Hope that he rolls it over. That pitch right there will lead to some home runs.
3-2, and Joyce draws the walk. A 1-out pass. The Rays put a base runner on.
Now let's take a look at tonight's text poll question brought to you by Autoway. How many games will Evan Longoria start at third base for the final 40 games of the season? TB1 is 31-40, TB2 21-30, TB3 11-20, or TB4 10 or under. Text 789-789 to submit your vote. Standard message and data rates apply.
Joe Madden did not have Evan in the lineup last night, but he is 6 of 13 lifetime coming into this game against Hochhaber. So he's in there tonight hitting cleanup and playing third base. 0 for 1 so far tonight, and 1 strike to count this time around. Joyce off first. And the pitch down and away, a breaking ball. Taken for a ball. It's 1-1. Walk to Joyce, the first given up by Hochhaber tonight. And snap throw down to first, and Joyce is picked off. Joyce just started to try to widen that secondary lead, and Perez caught him.
And it started even before that. As he was leading off, he took an extra step off of Hochhaber. Right there, you see that? He gets even further out past the cut. Perez notices it and flips it down there to Hosmer, and they lay the tag on him. He had a big lead anyway, and then he got even further, I think, setting himself up to steal. And Perez put a kibosh on that.
Pitch is wide. And another look at Joyce over there, and you can see that little hop.
Look at that. That's aggressive.
And you cannot be aggressive like that with Perez behind the plate. That's a strike to Evan, and the count is full. The fastball catching the corner.
Good fastball here by Hoshaver. Right down that outside corner.
3-2. Evan chops it to short. Escobar with the long throw, but time. And Longoria is out of there. The Rays going to walk, lose the runner. Through 4, no score. With a hit apiece. And we'll get the answer to our AT&T trivia question. The Rays currently leading the league in earned run average, strikeouts, and opponents average. Which team was the last American League club to lead the league in those 3 categories? And you go back to the 1999 Boston Red Sox. The Rays have had great pitching all year, and recently, second half, the defense has gotten better, and the offense has certainly picked it up. And as a result, the Rays are a season's high 14 games over 500. How about this? They've allowed 63 runs in their last 30 games, fewer than any other team in the American League in the designated hitter era. And here's Salvador Perez, the catcher, to lead off the 5th inning. 1 ball and no strikes. We saw him pick off Matt Joyce in the bottom of the 4th inning. One of the reasons they signed him to a 5-year deal.
You know, and you go back to that stat on the pitching staff. 13 of the last 26 games they've given up 2 runs or less. There's nothing fluky about it.
No.
It's not like they're on some run where they're all pitching out over their skis. They're perfectly capable of doing this game in and game out.
Yeah, Joe Madden will say that's the way they drew it up.
Yeah.
But, well, they really thought that this pitching staff could be that good, and it has turned out to be every bit as good as they thought. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Where you start to question is, you know, at the beginning of the season, what's the bullpen going to look like? Well, you know, they continue to rebuild the bullpen every single year, and it gets better and better and better. A lot having to do with that man right there.
Well, you got a guy at the end of the game, the way Rodney has been this year, and they thought he might be good, but there's really no way, and they'll be honest about that you knew his command would be as spot on as it has been, and Peralta next to him has really been the glue there in that 8th inning.
Oh, there's your 8th and your 9th. You've now made it a 7-inning game with those two guys.
Fly ball toward right center, and Joyce is lined up to catch it. 1 out here in the 5th. Mike Moustakas is on his way to the plate. And it's time for the Just for Men Keep Your Edge spotlight. How about this coming out of the 06 Major League Draft, including the Kansas City pitcher tonight and Evan Longoria. Just as Evan gives the Rays the edge, you can keep your edge with Just for Men mustache and beard. First pitch, a breaking ball that stays in to Moustakas. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, Evan out of that draft, the Rookie of the Year, the 3-time All-Star. Cut to miss fastball there. 1-1.
And you see those 2 names at the bottom, Clayton Kershaw and Tim Lincecum in the top 10. Pretty good draft. Top heavy.
Two and 1 now. Price pulls the count even. Throwing the fastball by him. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fastball. Another one at 97. He got him with the 97-mile-per-hour fastball in the 2nd, and again here in the 5th.
Well, this was a great job of David Price recognizing Mike Moustakas and his swing. He knew that he had gotten him with that pitch previously, and the previous swing was one where Moustakas opened up his hip and kind of waved at that ball away. So David said, why would I go to anything else? Let's give him the hard stuff. Let's keep it away from him. Make him prove that he can hit the ball the other way. So far, he's not been able to do that.
Rancourt fouls one back. An opening fastball, strike 1.
Because you saw him shake. That's the obviously Jose Molina put down a different pitch, and David was able to recognize the previous swing and say, no, this is going to work better. Right on the money.
Foul ball up the right side. And that's another great point about the maturation of David Price into a top echelon pitcher. When you're reading bats out there and then executing the way he does.
Yeah, Jose Molina's been around the league. I mean, he knows these hitters, knows how to call a game, and David is willing to say, I appreciate it, but let's go here. Feel better about it.
Little tap back to the hill. The throw by Price to Pena. 1-2-3. Go the Royals. Bottom of the 5th coming. Zobrist, Pena, and Scott do no score.
Long, Tires Plus will donate $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports, Fox Sports Florida.
First pitch here to Ben Zobrist, the bottom of the 5th inning. That pitch is low, a curveball from Hochevar. 1 ball and no strikes. Zobrist line to center in the 2nd inning. Chopper foul. 1-1. Ball and a strike. Zobrist out in front. It's 1-2. 28-year-old right-hander Luke Hochevar out of the University of Tennessee. Breaking ball stayed wide. It's 2-2. Cutting them in. Zobrist out on strikes to open the bottom half of the inning.
Well, on Tuesday, September 4th, the Rays battle the New York Yankees, and the first 10,000 fans will receive a Fernando Rodney t-shirt that is right on target. The t-shirt is presented by Tampa Bay Times. For tickets, visit RaysBaseball.com. You get it, Dwayne?
Yep, he's preparing to launch. And it's going to be right on target.
Well, if someone doesn't score in this game, he may make a repeat appearance late.
Well, he's been right on target all year.
Maybe take an aim at Todd on a rainbow.
They already took care of the rally monkey.
A couple of times.
He did. There's no question. Dead on. He couldn't wait to do that.
Yep. Well, they didn't exactly welcome him home either.
Here's Carlos Pena. And the pitch is a strike. Pena struck out his first time. Boy, both these pitchers working their way right through these lineups. Hochevar's been good in his own way, and Price, we've seen more of what we've seen before from him. 1-1 the count. The breaking ball missed down.
Well, the Tampa Bay Times is adding hundreds of new subscribers each week. Join them with a subscription to Tampa Bay's favorite newspaper. Call 877 The Times or visit TampaBay.com/Rays offer. Come with us around the corner, around the globe.
Pitch is down around the knees for a strike, and the count is 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. One out, base is empty. And Pena takes ball 2. Hochevar wanted an appeal down to third. It's not coming. Hochevar off a 7th outing against Oakland in Kansas City when he gave up 3 runs. The loss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Foul ball. Pena took a cut at the fastball. Pena step back. Back in there again. And a cut and a miss. Pena out on strikes, missed the fastball. That's strikeout number 2 of the inning and 6 in the game for Hochevar.
This fastball not quite to the location that he wanted, but you see Carlos Pena with that uppercut swing. The head comes out of it. He just gets way underneath it.
So the bases are empty with 2 outs. Luke Scott, he has the only hit of the game for the Rays when he doubled in the 3rd. Pitch is a strike. Luke wound up at 3rd base, moving over there on a fly ball, and then was stranded when Molina and Jennings struck out to end that threat. It's been the only one the Rays have had. Luke is quickly behind in the count, 0-2.
And how large does that look at this point? Got that opportunity to score a run. You can see Hochevar now starting to pitch with more confidence, working quickly. Those last 2 fastballs to Scott buried on that outside corner.
And the breaking ball is tapped foul. When the Rays saw Hochevar in Kansas City, he was really pitching well. He was coming off an outing in Houston, a scoreless outing of 7 2/3, and followed that up with the shutout, 7-hit shutout against the Rays, in which he struck out 8. Rays have no runs, 2 outs into the 5th inning, and just 1 hit off him tonight. And a swing and a miss on the fastball up. Hochevar strikes out the side, no score through 5.
Base since the end of April. A lot of different guys have started at 3rd base since he went down in our Toyota Trend. Jeff Keppinger the most with 30 starts. Sean Rodriguez 26. You see the rest of the list: Will Rhymes, Ryan Roberts, Brooks Conrad, Drew Sutton, Elliott Johnson. Longoria knows he's still going to have to be a bit cautious when playing the field.
At least for now, restrained from going hard after that ball in the 6th hole and diving after it. But the way that our defense is set up and the shifts and stuff that we use, I mean, hopefully I'm just in the right position, and I don't have to do too much.
He said there would be occasions he would have to concede choppers or bunts, and then he still hasn't been tested going to that backhand, which is what troubled him during that rehab process. And Joe Madden knows he can't play him every day. Certainly is not expecting to play him at all 9 innings tonight. So Longoria easing back in, playing 3rd base this evening. Caught that line drive, his first play of the evening. Also made another play on a ground ball. Here's his evening so far with Price on the mound. Caught that line drive. Nice little jump and catch right there. Testing out that hamstring, and then he made a ground ball play as well. And here you see him pretty much right at him, but moving slightly to his left to make the play. So Longoria's first night back at third, guys. So far, so good.
And on to the sixth with Eric Hosmer leading off. First pitch is a low fastball out of the zone. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, so far so good for Evan down there at third base, including the little leaping catch. Fastball tied him up a bit. He fouled it back. 1-1. Hosmer 1 for 3 in last night's game. It's a good cut. Fouls it. Hit last night gives him a mini hitting streak of 6. He had struggled before this little hitting streak he has going. Two balls, 2 strikes. Price giving up just the hit to Butler. There's a fly ball back into center field. Towering fly ball and up and not yet to the track makes the catch. That's the first out here in the 6th inning. That's 13 in a row retired by Price since he gave up the base hit to Butler back in the 2nd inning. And he'll face the number 9 hitter.
It's been David's ability really pitching tonight, using both sides of the plate, mixing speeds. We've seen the best changeup he's had maybe in his last 8-9 starts.
Giavatella takes a fastball too high. Shaver 5 innings, 1 hit. David Price 5 1/3, 1 hit. 1 ball, 1 strike. Butler base hit in the 2nd. He was stranded at first. The Rays have had a couple runners on the double by Scott. He was stranded at 3rd eventually. Joyce walked in the 4th and was caught off first. 2-1. Was picked off by the catcher Perez. Joyce was. And that's been it in the base running department. Been all Price and all Hochevar. Pretty close there, and that will take the count to 3-1.
Certainly caught the plate. It was a question of whether it was going to be high enough. That ball right down there at the bottom of the zone. Fox Track says it was in the zone.
3-1 toward the right field line. Joyce over for it though, and makes the catch on the move for out number 2. Well, for Price, that's 17 out of 18 men he's faced. He has retired. 2 outs in the 6th, and Lorenzo Cain makes his way to the plate. Strike on the outside corner.
This ball game has really boiled down to who's going to blink first. Who's going to hang the first pitch out over the plate and put himself in trouble.
And a base hit into center field. Cain will make the turn aggressively at first, but put on the brakes, and he has a 2-out single.
Change up here by David, and Cain just back enough. He gets that ball right off the end of the bat, able to get it out there into center field. And you got to believe here that the Kansas City Royals are going to try to put Cain in motion. 2 outs.
Now Escobar's the hitter, and Cain 5 of 5 in the running department.
And stringing together hits tonight has not been something either team's been able to do. So you just have to start to manufacture, create offense. And here's a perfect opportunity to put a guy in motion.
And a liner into left. That's going to hang up. Here comes Jennings to make the catch. He got him on the change. We go to the bottom half of the sixth. It's no score. David Price and Luke Hochevar. Price through the front six has made 83 pitches, 5 strikeouts, and Hochevar through 5. 7 strikeouts for the Kansas City right-hander, giving up just the Luke Scott double. Ryan Roberts leads off and lifts a high fly ball back into center, not all that deep. And Kane is there to make the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. That on the heels of Hochevar striking out the side in the 5th. So 1 pitch, 1 out in the home half of inning 6. And here is Jose Molina. Molina struck out in the 3rd. Pitch is a strike right around the knees. No runs, 2 hits for Kansas City, no runs, and just 1 hit for the Rays. And a strike at the knees on the outside part of the plate. All pitching here tonight. And that is strike 3 call, a breaking ball. Started in and just caught the plate. 2 gone.
Well, rock out with OAR as they head to the stage after the Rays host the Oakland A's this Friday and perform their headlining hits, including Shattered, Heaven, and That Was a Crazy Game of Poker. For tickets, visit RaysBaseball.com.
Now Desmond Jennings. First pitch to Jennings is low and outside. Started him with the cut fastball that time. He got him with a curveball in the 1st. Threw him a number of breaking balls in the 3rd, and then eventually struck him out with a fastball. And then another pitch darting away from him. 2-0. Two quick outs in the 6th. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. It's a strike at the knees. 3-1. And the bunt attempt is foul. So 3-1. He tried to put down a bunt there on a 3-1 fastball. Base runners have been at a premium. Scott's double in the 3rd. Joyce a walk in the 4th inning. Full count. And ball 4. So the Rays get another base runner. 2-out walk to Jennings. Hochevar with 8 strikeouts and 2 walks tonight. And the 8 strikeouts tying his season's high. He also had 8 when he shut out the Rays in Kansas City back on the 25th of June. And he had an 8 strikeout performance against the Yankees in New York. That was about the 3rd week in May.
Well, the thought here is much like the Royals last inning. You're going to put Desmond and Jennings in motion here, and is B.J. Upton going to let him see a pitch?
And the pitch is a strike. He takes that pitch.
That may have been your shot, Desmond. B.J. the first 2 at-bats swung at the first pitch. He lets this one go by. See Desmond, high percentage.
And there's strike 2. So 2 quick strikes here to Upton. Well, you've got a high percentage base runner there. Desmond 23 out of 25. And Perez behind the plate. 13 stolen bases attempted in the last 35 games against him. And he's thrown out 7 of those runners trying to steal. Two strikes the count. And time call. Hochevar holding the ball out there, and Jennings was about to make his move when time had been called. Granted by Paul Immel.
Yeah, it was that BJ. You know, it was a long hold there by Hochevar out on the mound.
Well, he was quick on the pitch prior to that.
Yeah, well, the strike 2, I think BJ was upset because Hochevar came down to come set. I don't think he ever came set. He came right down to the belt, and then with a slide step, snuck strike 2 in there. That one he held for a long time, and time was called, and here Desmond had a great jump.
Move to first. Desmond back in. 7 caught stealings and 21 attempts with Hochevar on the mound, and that's a step up from a year ago. Swing and a miss. Upton out on strikes, missed the curve. The Rays leave a man at first. We go to the 7th, scoreless. Battles so far at Tropicana Field tonight. As we check the Acura standings in the East, the Rays start tonight just 4 back of the Yankees, running second and over in the wild card. The Rays 2 games up on Baltimore. The Rays occupying the top spot. Then Baltimore a half up on Oakland and a game and a half in front of Detroit. The Angels 4 back with a mark of 62 and 60. So the Rays have used this great pitching and defense along with the revival of the offense to move right back into the top spot in the wild card race and within reach of New York, 4 back. David Price through 6 innings. Just a couple of hits, no runs. And he faces Alex Gordon to begin the inning. Gordon 0 for 2, then Butler and Perez. Upstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. One and one. Gordon 0 for 2 tonight after last night going 2 for 3 on base 3 times. He also walked. Upstairs. Rays coming into this game with a 5-game winning streak. They've won 12 out of their last 14. Pop fly into short right. It's Matt Joyce. He's got it. 1 away. Base is empty, 1 out. Let's check in with Laura.
Thanks, Dwayne, and I'm here to remind you to follow us on Twitter. It's @SunSportsRays. Send your tweets our way. And BJ Upton, a man of few tweets, decided that today was a good day to send one out because it's his birthday. And one of the things that he says in this tweet that I find really interesting is he can't believe he's been a Ray for 10 years. It is quite the milestone. And Dwayne, does it seem like just yesterday that BJ Upton made his debut? Quite impressive that he's only 28. He's been in the bigs for 10 years. Well, he was selected in the first round in that June 2002 draft. Here's Billy Butler taking a pitch high, 1 ball and no strikes, and time does fly. Here he is, 28 years old. Pitch is down, 2-0. Three is wide. 3 balls, no strikes. Gordon out on a fly ball to right. Butler ahead in the count, 3-0. Fly ball, left center field. Jennings cutting to his left is there, and he has it. So Butler had the green light there, 3-0. Took a shot and hit a fly ball to left center. So 2 outs. Here's the catcher, Salvador Perez. Ground ball to short. Perez is out of there. Zobrist to Pena. 1-2-3. 7th inning stretch time now. No score.
Half of the 7th inning. Coming up on Saturday after the Rays game against the Oakland A's, we have the relief corps inside the Rays, featuring guys like Jake McGee, Wade Davis, Joel Peralta, Burt Badenhut, Fernando Rodney, and the two most important guys in the bullpen as JP Howell runs across. Bullpen catcher Scott Kersey, bullpen coach Dan Borowski. It's all going to be on Inside the Rays, the relief corps, Saturday after our Rays Live postgame show, guys.
Thank you very much, Todd. Look forward to that. The bullpen has been a very important part of this team this year. Matt Joyce leading off here in the bottom of the 7th, takes a pitch down for a ball. 2-0. How about this for Hochevar? 15 innings of scoreless baseball against the Rays this year. No runs, 15 innings. He's got a .589 against the rest of Major League Baseball. Fly ball lifted into left. And Gordon's there to make the catch.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, the way that he's thrown the ball, that shutout in Kansas City, and how he's pitched thus far in tonight's ball game has nothing to do with the Rays offense. He's been that good. Fastball has been precise for the most part. That was one of the few pitches that he missed, was that cutter up to Molina. But he has worked the ball around the zone. Good breaking stuff tonight.
There's a strike to Evan.
And at the end of the day, this is not a question of the Rays offense being bad. It's Luke Hochevar being that good.
Yeah, and he's good again for at least the 3rd straight outing against the Rays. The 2nd time this year.
And again, one of these pitchers, you're figuring on somebody's got to blink. The way that David Price is throwing the baseball, if the one mistake out over the plate, Rays can pop one, put you in good position. But boy, base runners have been tough to come by. Forget about runs.
Pitch outside to Longoria. Fastball. 1-2. Evan. Fly ball up the right field line in the 2nd inning. Caught by Crancore, and then he grounded to the shortstop in the 4th. Goes the other way, foul, out of play, holding the count at 1-2. Rays 10 over for the month of August, 14-4. They run into Hochevar tonight, who's pitched well. 2-2. He had a start here in 2011 when he gave up just 1 run in 7 innings. Pop up right side. Batema, the second baseman, makes the catch. So 2 up, 2 down in the 7th.
Well, experience a Rays game from the all-inclusive Hancock Bank Club, offering extraordinary seating and luxurious lounge and dining areas. The Hancock Bank Club features an upscale menu and inclusive drink options. For tickets and more information, call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com.
Now Ben Zobrist, 0 for 2. And the pitch is a strike. Scott's double in the 3rd, a walk to Joyce in the 4th, a walk to Jennings in the 6th. And that's been it in the base runners. 1-1 the count to Zobrist. Butler single in the 2nd and Kane single in the 6th for Kansas City. That's been it for them. Low, 2 balls and a strike. And Luke Scott, so far the only base runner with his leadoff double and a move to 3rd. He's been the only guy to find himself in scoring position tonight. And the check swing by Zobrist runs the count to 3-1. Zobrist check, Or did he? Oh, he went around, says Gary Darling. Ben thought he checked there on the pitch. The count is full.
Well, let's take a look. 3-1. He goes out.
Well, Darling saw enough to say he offered.
It was very, very close. I think I'm going to have to side with Ben on that one. But still close.
3-2, and there's ball 4. Breaking pitch down. So Ben walks for the 74th time this year.
The little bat flip by Ben after the ball 4. Sending a message there. He was not happy at all.
So with a runner at first, Pena makes his way to the plate. Carlos has struck out twice tonight. Two outs. Zobrist, the runner at first. And he goes after the first one, skies it to left. Gordon is there. Now he backs up a step or two to make the catch to retire the side. Walk and a man left. We go to the 8th. Scoreless. We're through 7, a double shutout going. Kansas City with 2 hits. The Rays just 1. David Price and Luke Hochevar hooked up in this one. We're headed into the 8th, and the Rays have made some defensive changes. Ryan Roberts, who started the game at second base, will move in to play third. Evan Longoria, who started at third, lifted. Elliott Johnson moves in to play shortstop. And Ben Zobrist, who had been at shortstop, goes over to play second base. And David Price out there on the hill. He's made 95 pitches through 7. Hochevar has made 95 pitches through 7. Mike Moustakas opens the 8th. Foul ball, strike 1. So another 7-inning performance by David Price. It's the 19th time in 25 starts that he's pitched at least 7 innings. Foul ball, 0-2. The Royals have not had a man in scoring position tonight. Butler singled in the 2nd, was stranded there, and Kane singled in the 6th. Swing and a miss. Moustakas out on the fastball. He's seen hard stuff all night, and for the 3rd time is out on strikes.
Well, coming up on Friday's Rays Live, the pregame presented by Gulf Coast Honda. I don't know. Not on Friday. It's going to be on Wednesday. That's tomorrow. It's the day game. Webb Wednesday. Shields will be looking for his 4th straight win, and I'll be breaking something down for you.
Right back bright and early. And Core takes a strike.
And by the way, how did you like that for the Ron Burgundy moment? If you put it on the prompter, I will read it. Friday's pregame show.
Yeah, but you caught it quickly. You were still mentally engaged.
Barely. It's tough to have a Friday's pregame show on Wednesday.
That's a look ahead.
Well, good. We got 2 out of the way.
Yeah,
a little 2 for Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. This pitch is low. 2 balls and a strike. One pitch popped up. That's a foul and carries out of play. So the count is 2-2. David Price ready with the 2-2 for Francoeur. Fouls it back. Breaking ball there from Price. Baltimore and Texas in the top of the 4th in Arlington tied 1-1. The Yankees bat in the top of the 4th in Chicago, leading the White Sox 2-1. No score here in the 8th. Just a little piece of that one, a foul ball. Paul Emo helped steady Jose Molina. Just a little ricochet on that foul ball. Tigers lead the Blue Jays 5-1 in the top of the 7th in Detroit. The Angels lead the Red Sox 5-2, top of the 7th at Fenway. Francoeur lifts it foul up the right side. Pena in pursuit, but it's well out of play. Trumbo's hit his 30th home run of the year for the Angels in Boston tonight. Two balls, 2 strikes. The miss. That takes care of Francoeur. Back-to-back strikeouts here of Moustakas and Francoeur.
Well, all Francoeur could do is smile after that pitch. You know, so often we see David Price get the strikeout of the righty. He throws that cutter. He throws it back door. This one he throws down and in. That's almost like a true slider. Down and in. That was at 90 miles an hour. He got on top of that cutter. Got a little depth.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, what can you do?
Strikeout number 7, out number 2. And the first pitch to Eric Hosmer is a fastball for a strike. Hosmer's grounded out and hit a fly ball to center. And there's a strike. Boy, 97. He started this game 97. Here he is, 2 outs into the 8th inning, and he just pumped a 97 on the corner. Good luck with that.
Yeah, especially when your front hip is headed towards first base.
0-2. Here we go. And a ground ball headed toward the middle. Diving stop by Elliott Johnson, but he cannot make the play. He stopped it, but beyond that could not make a play on it. That's going to go as a base hit.
Well, if he would have been able to scramble to his feet and come up with everything cleanly, he had a chance. But this would have been a dynamite play. Boy, 2.5 steps in a dive and then just can't quite get it out of that glove cleanly.
Hosmer aboard. Oh, Johnny Giavotella, second baseman. Price, who worked from the stretch in the 2nd inning, and again in the 6th. In the 6th, he gave up a 2-out base hit to Kane, and then got Escobar. That's the last time he's worked from the stretch until now. Swing and a miss.
Changeup again. Boy, David Price has brought the A changeup to this ball game. A lot of A pitches from David tonight.
David up to 110 pitches on the evening. And finds strike 2 with that one. He's had a couple strikeouts in the 2nd inning, 2 in the 3rd. He has 2 here in the 8th. The 0-2 pitch, runner goes. The pitch inside, throw down is not in time. Stolen base for Hosmer. Hosmer picks up a steal, and for the first time tonight, Kansas City with a man in scoring position. 12 steals for Hosmer.
Now watch where Hosmer slides. Jose Molina comes up gunning, slides to the outside and really arching that back to get away from Ben Zobrist. It almost looked like Ben kept that tag on the leg of Hosmer as that right leg popped off the bag.
Now the 1-2 down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hosmer singled with 2 outs. He has stolen second. 2-2. The count, a swing and a miss. Giavotella is out on strikes. 3 strikeouts in the inning, no runs, a hit, and a man left on base. He got Moustakas on the fastball, Frank Boer on the cut fastball. Finished off by striking out the second baseman on a fastball. Rays baseball brought to you by your local Southern Ford dealers, by Subway restaurants, play hard, eat fresh, and by 5-Hour Energy. 5-Hour Energy fixes tired fast. Luke Scott's going to open the bottom of the 8th inning against Luke Hochevar. Luke on Luke here, and a breaking ball in there for a strike call. The Rays have 1 hit tonight, and that was Scott's double in the 3rd as Fernando Rodney is up in the Rays bullpen down the right field line. Pitch is down. Hochevar wants the appeal, and nothing coming from the third base umpire to this point. The count is 1-1. Rays have drawn 3 walks and have the double by Scott. And that pitch, breaking ball, slipped away from Hochevar, stayed wide. 2-1. And a strike on the outside part of the plate.
Now, as this game has moved in to the later stages, we've seen Hochevar start to bring out that backdoor cutter, able to strike Ben Zobrist out on it, and here he gets a strike on Luke Scott. That ball looked to be off and stayed off, but Paul Emmel calls it a strike.
2-2 the count to Luke. This next pitch, number 100 on the evening for Hochevar. A cut, a foul ball on the fastball. Got a little piece of it. No runs, 3 hits, no errors, 3 left for Kansas City. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 3 left for the Rays. Luke just activated from the rehab assignment. A 2-2 pitch, and Scott is out on strikes. It's the first out here in the 8th.
Well, the Mosaic Company and the Rays are working together to end hunger through home runs for food. Each Rays home run, Mosaic donates $500 to Feeding America Tampa Bay. So far, $58,500 has been donated.
Well, 10 strikeouts for Hochevar tonight. Brian Roberts. The curveball stays in. 1 ball, no strikes.
He had better make good pitches here, because Ryan Roberts, I'm telling you, he is poised, looking for something out over the plate. We know he takes a big hack.
The ground ball chopped to the shortstop Escobar. That's the second out.
How about that? Comes out there, first 2 pitches, only 2 pitches, 2 breaking balls. Hochevar not only executing pitches physically, mentally also.
Well, here's Jose Molina. Molina 2 strikeouts tonight. Wave and a miss for a strike. Hochevar shutting out the Rays in Kansas City and shutting them out 2 outs into the 8th inning tonight. A double shutout going. Liner into right. Rancourt makes the catch, and the Rays are up and down 1-2-3. We go into the 9th. No score. Toshaver matched up. Price for 8 innings. Boy, this has been some exhibition of pitching tonight.
Well, both of these guys executing everything, and David Price has had it all working. Talked about it all game long. He's using both sides of the plate. He's got the explosive fastball. Seen that thing regularly up in 96, 97. The cutter's been good. The best changeup we've saw from David Price all season, well, not all season long, maybe the last 8 or 9 starts. He had the 8+ changeup. Not many curveballs tonight. You know, this is another one of those games where it was the fastball, the cutter, the change. He was outstanding.
Well, he lowers his earned run average to 2.28. He came in leading the major leagues in that category. 8 innings, 3 hits, no runs. He struck out 8, didn't walk anybody. Made 114 pitches, and Fernando Rodney enters from the Rays bullpen here to work the top of the 9th.
Well, Fernando on for the 59th time, even up record, but the .79 earned run average. He's just been absolutely outstanding, and obviously at this point with no save opportunity, have to hopefully shut down this Royals lineup here in the 9th.
Well, he'll be facing the top of the order. See the Royals with some action brewing in their bullpen. The first pitch to Kane is a strike. Greg Holland and Kelvin Herrera down there in the bullpen for Kansas City. It's a 1-1 count. Kane, Escobar, and then Gordon. That's a strike at the knees. 1-2. A ball, 2 strikes. And he takes it down. 2-2, the changeup. Swing and a miss. He blew that one right by him. 98. So Kane out on strikes to open the 9th.
Coming up on Rays Live, the post-game show, and that will be after tonight's game, presented by Checkers. It will not be Friday. It will be Friday, but talk about tonight's. Todd and Arestas will anchor the coverage from center field. You hear what Joe Madden has to say about this ball game, and Laura will be gathering interviews from the clubhouse.
First pitch to Escobar. It's down and away. Eight strikeouts for Price, 1 now for Rodney. A foul ball into and out of the Rays dugout. Everybody's all right there. George Hendrick getting out of the way with a little assistance from Paul Harker. Gonna find a safer place. It's 1-2. George is taking cover. And it's down. Laid off the change. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And there's George. He's got a little interference in front of him now. And the foul, just a piece of it. He fouls it straight back. 2-2. A scoreless game, top half of the 9th. And now the count is full. 100 miles per hour on that last pitch to Escobar. He struck out Kane on a 98 mile per hour fastball. And a full count here to Escobar. He got him. Followed it up with the change. So Escobar out on strikes. 10 strikeouts for Rays pitching. 2 up, 2 down, 2 strikeouts for Rodney.
Well, when Rodney throws a pitch like that, following up a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, I mean, it's just not fair. It is not fair. Just so dominant. These hitters, and the thing is they're going up there. He's going to throw 2 pitches. He's going to throw the fastball or the changeup. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's from 1 pitch to the next.
I mean
really? But 1-0 the count to Gordon.
We've seen a lot of hitters doing that tonight, shaking their head and smiling. What can I do?
Yep.
What am I supposed to do?
Gordon takes a strike. It's 1-1. Price worked 8. Rodney 2 outs into the 9th. 2 balls and a strike. Three balls and a strike. Billy Butler on deck. Rodney pitching for the first time since Saturday when he picked up his 38th save. Foul back. Three balls, 2 strikes. Gordon fouled the fastball at 98 back to run it full. And it's down and in. Changeup missed and Gordon walks. First walk given up by Rays pitching tonight. Now it's Billy Butler. With you tomorrow at 12:30. James Shields will be on the hill for the Rays. Game on Sun Sports in high definition. Chopped to third, stays down. Roberts with the throw to first to Pena. No runs, a walk, and a man left. Bottom of the 9th coming. Jennings, Upton, and Joyce do no score.
may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Bottom of the ninth inning, a scoreless contest. Rays have seen the last of Luke Hochevar, and they will shed no tears over that. He shut them out over in Kansas City and threw 8 shutout innings tonight, giving the Rays just 1 hit. And Kelvin Herrera will make his 56th appearance on in relief of Hochevar.
Well, how about that? 60 strikeouts and 62 innings to go along with just 12 walks. A 5-to-1 ratio by Herrera.
Desmond Jennings fouls the first one back. That's a strike. Desmond walked in the 6th inning. Hochevar made 105 pitches. Struck out 10, walked 3, gave up 1 hit, no runs. The pitch is low. Change up there from Herrera. And that's a strike. Another change up. And it's fouled back, and that one at 99. The Rays saw Herrera briefly in Kansas City. There's Joel Peralta up in the Rays bullpen. And strike 3 called on the outside corner. A fastball, and that one clocked at 100.
Again, how many times have we said this tonight? Hitter can absolutely do nothing about this pitch. 100 miles an hour right there on the corner or just off. Let's see. I mean, just maybe nips that front edge.
Now B.J. Upton. And Upton takes one in there for a strike, and that one hit 100. BJ 0 for 3 on the night. Swing and a miss. Hard stuff again. 99 and by him. Outside and low. It's 1-2. Herrera pitched 1 inning against the Rays in Kansas City in that series at the end of June. They got 2 hits off him. A little roller to the left side. Moustakis with a pickup, and the throw is scooped at first by Hosmer. 2 up and 2 down. Matt Joyce will bat.
Nice play over here by Moustakis, having a range to his left. You got B.J. Upton running, so you got to get rid of it, hurry and accurately. And on the other end, Hosmer with a nice little scoop to finish it off.
Matt walked in the 4th, popped out the 3rd and the 1st, hit a fly ball to left in the 7th. And chops it to the right side. Giavatella. Hosmer back. There's some confusion at first. Herrera getting over there trying to cover. Hosmer was getting back to cover. And they bumped into each other, and Herrera took the throw.
Well, Herrera made the right move. Ball on the right side. He's going to head to first base. Hosmer was slow getting back to first. Watch how deep Hosmer is. Ground ball here. He starts for it. And he's going to be a little bit late getting there. So Giavatella is going to throw to whoever's looking. Happens to be Herrera, but he's nowhere near the bag.
So a base hit for Joyce. And Keppinger will come on to hit. Keppinger, one of the 2 hits the Rays picked up off Herrera over in Kansas City, and it drove in a run. The pitch is a strike. So Longoria originally occupied the cleanup spot. He was lifted defensively in the 8th. Now Keppinger hitting. It's 1-1. A 2-out infield hit for Matt Joyce. Tim Collins up in the bullpen. That's low and outside. 2 balls and a strike. Outside. It takes the count to 3-1 on Keppinger. Runner goes. The pitch swung on. Fly ball into right. Francoeur settles in and makes the catch. The Rays do not score in the 9th. So we head into the 10th. No score.
Before the game, Joe Madden was doing an interview with MLB Network when Joel Peralta got into the act.
Hick is a great preparer. He does. We get a lot of good information from upstairs. We have this really wonderful advanced scouting system, but then Hick takes it, dissects. He calls the pitchers out. Who is that? Oh, Socio. You will not. You will. Back on my mark here. You will not see Peralta. You will not see Peralta pitch for at least a week or 10 days now. Actually, it was
a week or 10 days became tonight. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, there was a 10 in it. He's in the game here in the 10th, but he's pitching tonight.
At the end of the day, it's about winning ball games.
And he faces Salvador Perez to open the 10th. And switches again defensively for the Rays. Keppinger stays on to play third. Roberts will go back to second, and Zobrist will go back to short. Keppinger pinch hitting for Johnson in the bottom of the 9th, and there's Ben back at short. He started the night there. Roberts back at second. That's where he started. Perez lifts a popper, short center. Upton is there. So that is out number 1. Extra innings presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky all season long. Jack Link's Beef Jerky, feed your wild side. Dacus. He is 0 for 3. All of that against David Price. Fouls the pitch back. How about that little breaking ball there after seeing 97, 97, and 95 all night from Price? A strike to count. Price for 8. Fernando Rodney for 1. Bounding ball foul out in front. The split. Greg Holland down in the bullpen for Kansas City. A 2-strike count. And a cut to miss. Well, he got back to the hard stuff, the fastball. Moustakas out on strikes for the 4th time tonight.
Now that's where, right here, watch Peralta speed Moustakas up mechanically. There it is. See that every now and then from Peralta. And here it's effective with the fastball up and away.
I gave him the curveball and the split, and then that quick pitch fastball. 2 up, 2 down.
Hey, listen, this Kansas City lineup has seen nothing but, I mean, top-notch pitching all night long.
Francoeur swings and misses. Strike 1.
What's been so impressive about it is the execution of it. David Price for 8 innings. Fernando Rodney for 1, and now Peralta here, 2 outs into the 10th.
Count is 1-1. Tonight's appearance, the 60th game of the year for Peralta. Outside. 2-1. Two outs, bases empty. The time that Peralta had to sit out may have renewed him. The way he's come back and pitched so well. He's been very, very good. Two-one. Chop deep short. Zobrist with a long one-hop throw, and it's going to skip beneath the mitt of Pena. Down to second goes Francoeur. So Francoeur now is in scoring position. It's a base hit for Francoeur and an error on the throw, allowing him to advance into second.
Well, Ben Zobrist is trying to make a tough play here on a ball chopped in the hole. He gets it, gets rid of it quickly. This ball's going to be a little bit short and to the left of first base. And you'd love to see Carlos Pena. He was trying to avoid Francoeur there. Got pretty close to him. At least knocked this ball down. But look where Francoeur was. Almost ran into him. You see Carlos kind of pull away from that. A little bit of a distraction allowed the ball to get by him.
So the man at second and 2 outs in the 10th, Eric Hosmer. Hosmer 1 for 3 tonight. Pitch outside. Kansas City did not have a man in scoring position until the 8th, and that's when Hosmer singled with 2 outs, an infield hit, and then stole second base. Now he hits with Francoeur at second and 2 outs in the 10th inning. There's ball 2 away. 2-0.
Joel Peralta obviously understanding the magnitude of this situation here, trying to make perfect pitches here to Hosmer. Falling behind 2-0.
Delivery. Swing and a looper into center field. Upton coming in. It'll fall in front of him. A barehanded pickup. The run's going to score. And the toss back into second base. Francoeur scores as Hosmer hit it softly enough to drop it in front of Upton. 1-0 Kansas City.
Well, Hosmer with a full swing and a ball right off the end of the bat. Weak contact. This is exactly what a pitcher is looking for. And he just soft serves this into the middle of nowhere. But that is so frustrating because you realize off the bat no one's going to be able to get there. And worse yet, that's on the other end.
So Hosmer's at first. Here's the second baseman, Giovatello. Ground ball to short. Zobrist with the toss there to Roberts, coming across at second on the force. Bottom of the 10th coming. 1-0 Kansas City. Luxury cars that deliver inspired performance. By Checkers, feast on. And by the 2012 GMC Sierra. It's our best Sierra ever. Eric Hosmer dropped a base hit into shallow center field, scoring Jeff Francoeur in the top half of the 10th. That's the difference in this game right now. Greg Holland comes on for the 51st time.
6-3 record, 5 saves, the ERA just over 3. How about the 66 strikeouts in 50 innings of work? But you see the walk totals, 25 walks in those 50 innings. Has a tendency to get wild.
And here's Ben Zobrist. Rays need a run to keep it going and 2 to win it. Zobrist hits a line drive, but right at the second baseman, Giovatello, for the out.
Well, that's the other thing that Rays hitters know with Holland is you're going to see some fastballs that have some velocity on them, and Ben Zobrist trying to take advantage there. Lines it right to the second baseman.
Well, the Rays in their 9th extra inning game. They're 4-4 in extra innings. This is the 10th extra inning game for Kansas City, and they've gone 4 and 5. Here's Carlos Pena. Carlos 0 for 3 tonight. And he shoots it down the right field line. That's a foul ball. Hooked it foul into the stands. When you straighten that one out down the line, you got a chance.
Absolutely. And again, these Rays hitters going up there ready to hit. They know they're going to get fastballs. They know that Holland is not a pinpoint control guy. So be ready to pull the trigger.
The 1-strike pitch upstairs. It's 1-1. Luke Scott on deck. Pitch inside, 2-1. Kansas City with a run, a 2-out run in the top of the 10th. The Rays trying to get a base runner here. 1 out, bottom of the 10th, nobody on. Pena granted time by Paul Emmel. And there is a ball high to take the count to 3-1. Holland, the third pitcher for Kansas City. And the 3-1 to Pena. He swings through the 97-mile-per-hour fastball. We've seen a lot of that high velocity in this game tonight.
Yeah, keeping away from Carlos, and this one rides up, not able to get on top of it. Good news for Carlos, he's more than likely going to see another one right here. Keep feeding Carlos fastballs and do what he did the other night in Anaheim.
Carlos facing Holland for the first time. The count is full. And he fouls it back. 95 on that fastball. Rays with just 2 hits tonight. Scott's third inning double and an infield hit by Joyce in the 9th. And after the Rays had accumulated double digits in hits in 9 of their last 12 games. 3-2. And he lets a fly ball to center. It's Kane waiting, and he's got it. So 2 outs now in the 10th. Luke Scott. Final hope for the Rays here in the bottom of the 10th. The Rays down 1-0. The Royals staff has 9 shutouts this year. The Rays have been shut out 6 times. Trying to avoid that. Here's Luke Scott. Pitch inside to him. A ball, no strikes. Scott has the count running in his favor. And the pitch swung on and a fly ball into center. Kane is there, and this game is over. Kansas City wins it in 10 innings. It's a 1-0 final for Kansas City. A run, 5 hits, no errors, and 5 men left for the Rays. 0-2-1 with 4 left. Herrera will get the win. Peralta the loss. He's 1-5. A save for Holland. That will be his 6th. And the Rays have been shut out tonight in 10 innings. It's a 1-0 final. The last 3 times the Rays have been shut out, it's been a 1-0 ball game. We'll take on the Royals and the Rays tomorrow at 12:30 on Sun Sports in high definition. For Brian Anderson and Todd Callis, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast. If not the outcome, Rays Live, the post game presented by Checkers, comes your way next. We will see you there.